After 6th of May and 7th, I was not bleeding, but suddenly on 17th of May, early in the morning, it was a Saturday, and I had another major bleeding. I was again too worried after the bleeding happened, and as it was, it was Sunday. So as it was a Sunday, the family doctor clinic was closed. So I decided that I should go to the emergency and do a test. So the report that I just showed you guys before in the last video, that was done in the emergency department, and it took me around 6 to 7 hours to because it was also the time of COVID-19, and they were taking things quite slow. So it took the entire Sunday, and I went there and I had a lot of tests, ultrasound, and they again concluded that I completed 13 weeks plus that time. So they told me that, yeah, you do have a subchorionic hemorrhage, which looks large, and we can do one thing. The doctor on call, he said that he's going to refer me to early pregnancy clinic. um, so they referred me to the early pregnancy clinic for 25th of May, and then I came back home, and yeah, they also told me that baby's heartbeat is good and things are okay. So you will get a call from the early pregnancy clinic, and they will take care of your case. So the next Monday, I got the call from the early clinic, and they told me that, well, as from your reports, your baby's heartbeat is good, so ideally we can't do anything. Early pregnancy is when before 13 weeks, or at any, yeah, just before your first trimester, if your baby heartbeat is stopped, or baby is not is still, the baby becomes still, then we can do something. But this case, we cannot take care of your case. So then I again called back to my family doctor, and I told her that this is what is happening, and they are telling me that they cannot take me as a patient. Then after that, I was in constant follow up with my family doctor, and as per her advice, I was taking complete bed rest, and we were kind of expecting that the bed rest is going to help me heal the hemorrhage and I might stop bleeding. But unfortunately, my bleeding was happening uh, once a day, like a few days a week, or sometimes once a week. And because of that fear of bleeding, I had to wear pad, sanitary napkin every day, and that was not an easy few weeks or months for us. I was bleeding on and off, and I was asked to take complete bed rest. So all our house housework and all our meals were taken care of my husband. He was overloaded with his office work, and with cooking and taking care of the house, cleaning and everything. um, my mental state was not that great, because I was also working from home, and my doctor advised that she can give me a sick note or a disability note, but I was at least able to engage in a way by working for office, so I was okay with that. And my husband helped in all other aspects. So this went on for few weeks, and I think every week I was bleeding, and whenever the bleeding used to be a lot, I used to call my family doctor, and let her know that this is what happening. So at one point, my family doctor, she realized that this is something which she now needs to refer to a high risk pregnancy department. So um, the high risk pregnancy department is a part of um, the main hospital that we generally go, but they had a lot of cases, and they take time to determine whether this is actually a high risk, whether they want to take it or not. So in that process, it took a bit of time, but luckily, after few weeks, in the second week of July, I got an appointment from the high risk pregnancy clinic. So I was little relieved that okay, at least now I'm going to get some answer and going to get a treatment maybe for this thing. Uh, so we went to the high risk. I went for my first high risk appointment. I met my OB there. She was very friendly, and she told me that see, I'm telling you very frankly that we actually cannot do anything in your case. um, I know that this is a hemorrhage. This is from large to this is from medium, and it has become large, and we can only monitor you until um, we will monitor you, but we can't do anything. There is no reason why would it happen, and there is no cause for it. So the only thing you have to do is lead a normal like life. So I told her that I got an advice, and it's written everywhere that this might get healed if I continue on bed rest. So what do you advise? She was little reluctant when I said bed rest. She said, no, you have to do a pelvic rest. So bed rest and pelvic rest are two different things. So she's elaborated that you do pelvic rest, and if you have a working where you have to stand on longer hours, then I'm worried. But if you're working from home and you have sitting job, then that's fine. Cooking, you can do, but don't stand for longer hours. Don't lift heavy objects, just like a bag of laundry done. So don't do that. um, Apart from that, she told me that go for regular work, and you can have a normal life. You don't have to do a bed rest, complete bed rest. So that was the instruction that she gave me, and from that meeting, after meeting her, I got to realize that, well, definitely, if doctors are saying that there is no cause and no cure, then the only thing that's going to work is staying positive as much as I can, eating a good diet, and taking care of myself. As I had severe nausea in my first trimester, I was uh, I was not able to enjoy food. I was not eating that well, but I got that determination that now I cannot take any more excuses. I have to be strong, I have to be mentally positive, and I have to eat well, take care of myself, exercise, at least 30 minutes. Sorry, not even exercise, go for walk. Just walking was allowed for me. And then the pelvic rest. Be careful. So uh, and the doctor also told me that uh, so I asked her what are the risks with this complication. So she told me that the risk with this complication is that um, uh, there are there are risks, but they might occur and they might not. But the risk is, that as this hemorrhage happened in the placenta, then there is a chance that when the baby starts growing in size, and the nutritions it this hemorrhage may impact the nutrition that is going to the baby. But that thing uh, we can only know for sure when we do an placenta scan, and the placenta scan can be done around 22 weeks in your pregnancy. So till 22 weeks you have to be patient, and you need to wait. We really can't do anything. So I waited. Before 22 weeks, around 20 weeks, I had my anatomy scan, where they measured the baby and all the organs of the baby. So everything looked good. I also got to know the gender, that I'm having a baby boy. So But the scan, after the scan was done and everything, so the day came when I had to do my placenta scan, and that was a really crucial and a milestone for me, because if placenta was not properly supplying nutrition to the baby, and there is any impact of that hemorrhage on placenta, then there is a risk that the baby might not grow, and it might be a premature baby in future.